Hi, this is my Philips Norelco electric razor. It's one of those recent models that has the pivoting heads, things that are supposed to magically follow the contours of your face to give you the closer shave that every man or woman wants. But it's got a small problem, and you may have noticed it while I've been playing around with these heads. Periodically, when I start shaving, this will happen. Everything just falls out. And sure enough, you collect these parts and you try to put things back together, but the next one will fall out and it just won't stay in place. In fact, this one here is the only one that will stay in there quite sturdily. Now let's take a look at why this happens and an easy way to fix it just by using a bit of super glue. I've gone ahead and removed the head and blade apparatus from the electric razor so we can better see where the problem lies. And that problem lies in this component right over here. Specifically how these darker pieces of plastic interact and move freely within the exterior head assembly. If we remove one of these pieces, we can see where the problem lies. There are two little bumps on each side of this head apparatus that hold these other pieces in place. And it's precisely those two little bumps which allow these components to move freely up and down as they travel across the surface of your face and adjust their shape accordingly. Now what happens is when these things move around, they eventually wear these bumps out. In fact, these bumps are getting quite smooth, and when that happens, you're no longer able to hold these things in place as they were when they originally came from the factory. You can see it slips out quite easily. There's not much resistance in there anymore. So the way we're going to fix this is we're going to take a little bit of super glue and put a little dab on each of these little bumps. And we're going to repeat that until we get a reasonable size hump over the stump that's currently there. And once we've built that little bump out, it should provide a little bit more of a bump or surface for these components to hook into via these little apertures right there. So let's give it a try and see how it works. Alright, so I applied 2 drops of super glue to each of these bumps, and I waited a few minutes for it to fully dry. Let's see how well these components fit back in there and if they stay put this time. Hey, so far so good. Let's give it a test with the weight of the blades and let's see how well it holds up in the razor. this is much better already. I can tell that this component is not quite, not quite up to standards. And you see it still does come out. So what I'll do is I'll go around once again with a bit more glue and strengthen that joint right there. But so far, I mean, this is already much better than what it was before. I just finished putting glue and letting it dry for the 2 bumps that didn't quite turn out as well as I thought they would. And let's give this a test. I think this is going to work out quite well now. Nope, turned it on. That one's staying put. And pretty good. I like it. Now, unfortunately, this type of fix is not going to be permanent because we still have plastic rubbing up against plastic when these heads move around. But it's very inexpensive compared to the cost of replacing the piece of plastic that has worn out. So that will wrap things up for this video. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you find this information useful. Please feel free to add your comments to the discussion below and to use the like and dislike buttons at your leisure. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you back soon.